So, in my last video, I showed you how to reap the benefits of something like Hyperland while actually staying within the comfort zone of the KDE Plasma environment. So why the hell am I making this video? Well, I've been curious about what it's like to use a window manager instead of a desktop environment for quite a while, as evident by that video. All those r/Unix porn rice posts made it hard not to be curious. So after installing a compositor and a few packages, trying for 2 minutes, then rage quitting after running into my first problem over and over again, I have decided to try the Niri compositor. Let's talk about how that's been going. Welcome to Niri. Where the fuck is everything? There we go. Okay, so dude, you have no idea how long this shit took to actually piece together. I had so many issues in the beginning, and one of them was something incredibly annoying known as environment variables. So check this out. I have this in the beginning of my config, and this is the Niri config, by the way. There you go, very nice. It's still very, very bloated from, well, it's very informative, the default config. I just need to clean it up, you know, all the things I don't need, all the explanation. Most of it is explanation. But yeah, I have a bunch of stuff that I added on my own here in the beginning, and one of them, the most important, is this environment variable. Check out what happens if I disable this real quick. All right, let's open up Dolphin again. Oh, stinky, oh no. Why is it, why has it, well, why, I sound like a fucking idiot right now. So I think because I installed it on top of an existing KDE installation, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really confused by all these environment things. Like there's Qt, GDK, basically, these are things that programs use. So for example, so yeah, this is Niri, and if you've watched my previous Linux video, which was the KDE Larper Land video, then you would probably say that this looks pretty similar to the way that that's set up. So I moved the date to the center, and then I have some things over here. This tells me how strong my internet connection is, which I'm on pretty bad Wi-Fi right now. So, oops, I just doxed myself. Oh no. And then yeah, you have volume, which, you know, is integrated with the volume knob on my keyboard, because of course my keyboard has a volume knob. I didn't ask for it. Every single goddamn hot swap pre-built had a knob 2 years ago. Okay, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. So yeah, this here at the top, you'll probably be familiar with it. This is Waybar. Waybar is so incredibly simple that you just use a config file and a style file, and that's it. I mean, you could do a lot more with Quick Shell, many QML files, many different folders, but I didn't want to mess around with that. I just wanted something simple because, truth be told, I like my bar at the top to be minimalist and simple, and the way it's set up right now is perfect for me. You know, I got everything I need. I got my workspaces, I got the window title right here, just like I did in my Larperland video. I have the date, which is pretty simple, and then there's this nice little hover thing included, so you can see the weekdays as well. And then I got a little bit of information over here, and that's it. That is more than enough for me. And obviously I didn't make any of this myself. I gotta give a massive shout out to the White Wolf over on GitHub. Actually, this is Niri olive tree theme. I took a look at this and I just thought, yes, that is exactly what I need. It is very minimal and quite easy to configure, honestly. I mean, as you can see from the screenshot, it looks very similar to the way I have it set up. So I also got to give another massive shout out to Ricardo Furman, who made this article not too long ago, as you can see, about getting clipboard to work basically the same way that it does in something like GNOME or KDE. Now this is for Nix OS, and I had to slightly think out of the box with this, considering I'm on Gen 2. So yeah, that's what it looks like on Nix, and this is what it looks like for me on here. It's a little bit different. Basically, by default, the way clipboard works on Niri is that you can copy things just fine. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky, but the problem is, let's say I have, you know, 2 different windows and I copy some text from one window, right? I have to hit Control-Shift-C because it's a terminal, but that's besides the point. And I go over here, it will copy just fine. This is not out of the ordinary. Now, let's say that I copied something from here and I close this window. Normally on Niri, it does not keep track of what you've copied if you copied from a program that is no longer open. So normally I would not be able to paste this here. And that's where these things come in. wl-clip-persist wl-clipboard, as well as cliphist. And then I found out there's something else you can do, which is also really cool. Ignore that. I don't know why that's there actually. So I use Rofi, right? If you've watched my previous video, you know I use Rofi to find my applications, but you can also use Rofi with this clipboard thing. So I have a clipboard config right here that it basically forks my normal Rofi config, which is this one, and then it just changes things slightly because I want it to look different. And then I have a clipboard menu right here, which is a very simple script. And if you're going to copy this, you need to make sure that it's executable. It's a very simple script that adds a clear history to my thing right here. So you'll see, so you have a clipboard history right here, just like you do on KDE. And then, you know, the script basically adds this clear clipboard history button. So you enter that, and then if you open it again with, I've set it to super V, just like on KDE, it'll be empty. Yay! So not only do these things remember what you copied, both text and image, but it also stores it in this little clipboard history thing, and there is a little script that can clear your clipboard history for you. I actually ran into another major problem almost right away that made me think that I honestly wasn't going to bother with this, because I've tried so many times and I've just ended up rage quitting every single time there was something that was wrong or not working, because I knew that I had to spend so much time figuring out, okay, why doesn't this work? What is the fix that I need? Is it compatible with the way my system is set up? One of those was Steam. So I tried launching Steam just pretty early into my Niri installation, and I got hit with a simple pop-up window that just said, Steam does not work because it cannot connect to X. Because Niri is a Wayland compositor, it can't open Steam because I think Steam is only available as X or X11. And that's where this thing comes in, which is xwayland-satellite. And I guess pretty much what this does is say, okay, if you're on a Wayland compositor and you're trying to open an X program, I am going to take care of that for you. Don't worry. So it's really, really simple on Niri. So yeah, once you've installed it, Niri is automatically going to take care of it because it integrates it out of the box. I'm not really sure what to do at this point. I guess this is like the showcase part of the video where I just go through my config and I show you some of the changes that I've made and explain them in case you are like me and you haven't really tried a window manager before. So if you're brave enough to go out and try Niri, then maybe you can learn a thing or two from my configs. So the first one would be very easy, is if you're coming over from KDE, like you have a KDE system and you have all your settings and whatnot on there, then I would recommend making this environment variable and copying this. And by default, the cursor is just going to be that standard black cursor with a white outline. So you can make a simple cursor like this. And again, if you're coming over from KDE and you know exactly what your cursor is called, you can literally just type the name and then whatever size you want. So this is the same as my KDE setup. And then normally there are 9 workspaces. I have set it to 6 because I prefer having 6. And then you might ask, just like I did, why are there 7? Why are there 8? So from my understanding, if you set less than 9, because 9 is default, then there's always going to be 1 extra in addition to all the workspaces that you've set. So I've set 6, and there will always be a 7th. And then if the 7th is occupied, then 8th is also unlocked. And I think if 8th becomes occupied, yeah, then 9 unlocks. And then if there's 10, okay, bro, what? I'm just now realizing, I thought the limit was 9. What? Okay, but yeah, you get the idea. Honestly, at this point, don't ask me why I've made the choices that I've made, because for half of them, I don't even know anymore. And then by default, windows will open like this. They'll take up half the screen, but then I have set a couple of windows to always open maximized, which is what you get when you press super F. It takes up the whole screen. You can also do super shift F to get it into full screen. So I've made window rules for specific apps. You see Desktop and Steam, they always open maximized. And then this is one of my favorite parts of Niri, which is probably also a thing on Mango, i3, Sway, Hyperland. You can set specific windows to always open on a specific workspace. As an example, I'll show you right now. I'm just gonna write a quick one for K, right? So if I click Super K right now, it should open on number 5, and it shouldn't even take me there. It should open in the background. Okay, it does actually take me there. That's fine. When I was opening Steam earlier, I was actually opening it on workspace 1, and it didn't even take me to 6. I just went there like 15 seconds later and Steam was open, so yeah. This recent documents thing is a pretty good indicator of what the hell I've been doing. I've just been inside a million different config files. And Mako, which is a notification center. So I'll show you what that looks like real quick. There, so I just plugged in a thumb drive and it gives me a notification up here that it has connected, and I've set the timeout to be 5 seconds. Oh, it even displays my Bluetooth adapter. That's awesome. I was actually just about to say, I don't know how many things it actually gives me a notification for. I have a feeling that I'm not going to get as many notifications as I usually do, which is completely fine because I hate how many stupid notifications you get. That's probably on me for not disabling them, which you can probably do in settings, but meh. If you are the type of person who likes rounded windows, then you can uncomment this. It might even be enabled by default, I'm not sure. But I personally am a big fan of squares, so. Ooh, and this is probably one of my favorite things, is this super minimal screenshot tool where you basically just hit it for the screenshot variable. And I don't know if this is being captured, but it's so simple. You just do that, copy, get a notification, which is nice. And it's instant too. It's so fast. I mean, Spectacle's kind of fast on KDE, but this is just very, very nice, very quick, very smooth. So yeah, I guess that was my little showcase of my struggles with trying to install and configure a window manager. I've been really curious about using one for a long time because I know they're lightweight and they're very smooth. I mean, really, it is very, very, very smooth. Like, look at all these, look at this. And then closing it, it's the same thing. It's just buttery smooth. There's no hiccups or anything. I don't know if my KDE Larper Land video showed it, but if you do that on KDE, it's going to be pretty laggy. This thing, nice and smooth. Also, did I mention that this uses like half a gigabyte less RAM after booting? Which is totally relevant considering all the RAM I have at my disposal. I just really like how everything is a window that takes up half of your screen and they're just endlessly spawnable horizontally. I just want to put a PSA out there real quick that if you do want to do this, one of the most annoying things about using a window manager, and one of the things that put me off trying one for so long, is that you have to figure out what you want to use for basically everything. So yeah, that was my journey so far with a window manager. I might make a part 2 at some point, and I also might not. Okay, bye.